So, good evening, children. We are meeting after some time, and I hope you would have gone through the earlier videos and even read the chapter given in your book. Now, in the last video, I was discussing keywords, and I had told you that keywords are predefined words having specific meaning in Java. And I had given you the example like class, public, static, void, and all these words. Complete list you are going to get in the book. Now, the very next topic in tokens is identifiers. What are identifiers? So, identifiers are naming tokens. Now, what are naming tokens and why do we need them first of all? Now, when we are writing Java programs, remember Java programs or Java language was basically designed to write very big programs. Now, programs spanning into maybe lakhs and lakhs of lines, we don't know. Now, in such cases, when we are writing very big programs, naturally it is not possible for one person to sit and write such big programs. So, a technique was developed, and it was right there from language C itself, to divide a program into smaller parts. So, how are we going to recognize these parts? These parts are known as functions. Okay, and we are going to discuss about functions much later. Till then, what I mean to say here is that we have different parts in a Java program, and there must be some method in which we are able to identify each and every part separately. Similarly, there are other entities also, like variables, like classes. Okay. How are we going to distinguish one variable from another, or how are we going to separate one class from another? So naturally, we need to identify these parts or these variables, these entities. So to identify these entities, what do we do is we give a name to these entities. These names are known as identifiers. Like for example, when you write class hello, so hello is the identifier which helps you to identify that this particular block of code what I have written as a class is hello. So that means I am going to identify that particular part as the hello class. Similarly, when I am declaring variables, okay, now if you remember, variables are spaces created in the memory to store data. There may be number of variables required in my program. Okay, so all these variables are going to contain different data. So naturally, I need to name them separately or differently. So generally what we do is we write them as A, B, C, D or some name where we can understand what that variable contains. So these names are known as identifiers. If you look at the example given on the screen, int a is equal to 5 semicolon. Always remember this particular example. This is a very significant and important example. It will always give you an idea, or it will give you an idea that what each of these tokens are. Notice there int is circled as keyword, then a is circled as identifier, equal to as operator, 5 as literal, and semicolon as separator. Okay, so equal to operator, symbols, wherever you see symbols in your program, they are operators most of the time. The data, they are literals. Okay, like suppose 5, 7, 9, A, B, X, Y, Z. When we talk about real data, then they are literals. And separators are punctuating tokens which distinguish one token from another, or which separate one token from another. Now, coming back to identifiers, as I was telling you, that identifiers are very important and they help us to identify various aspects of a program. So whenever we are naming something, we have to follow certain rules and guidelines. Okay, like for example, you might have never met a person whose name is 365. Why? Because we have an unsaid rule that names should be names, they should not be numbers. In the same way, Java also has got some identifier naming rules and identifier naming conventions. What are identifier naming rules? That means when you are naming something in Java, what are the rules which you need to follow? First of all, they can be of any length. That means there is no limit to the number of characters which can be there in a name. Now, why this is important? Because children, earlier programming languages had limited the name size to 8 characters. I am talking about very primitive languages. This particular system of naming something within 8 characters is totally obsolete, and now it is no more in use in Java. Java names can have any number of characters. So if you want to name a class as class Rana, Roy, Aditya, Pratap, Singh, till and until all these words are together, Java won't have any difficulty. Okay, so Java names can be of any size. Second rule is that they must not be keywords. Now, keywords are predefined words, I already told you, and I told you in the last class that you don't see a person by the name Fan. Why? Because Fan is already predefined. In the same way, when you are naming something in Java, you have to take care that that name should not be predefined. That means I cannot keep a name of a class as int, because int is already a predefined data type. I cannot keep a class name as class. Why? Because class also is a predefined word. So they must not be keywords. They can be of any length. Now these names may contain capital A to Z, small a to Z, digits 0 to 9, and special characters. Only dollar and underscore are allowed. Okay, only dollar and underscore are allowed. You need to remember this very carefully. Apart from that, the name should not begin with a digit. Like for example, if I want to keep a name of a class as hello, it's fine. If I want to keep as hello 123, that is also fine. But if I want to keep a name as 123 hello, then that is not fine. That is not going to work, because the name should not begin with a digit. Okay, it can begin with a dollar or the special character underscore, but it cannot begin with a digit. Now they are case sensitive. The next point. Now this is a very important point. What do I mean by case sensitive? Now children, you know that English language has got letters which are written in capital as well as small letters. In computer terminology, capital letters are known as uppercase letters and small letters are known as lowercase letters. Now, uppercase letters and lowercase letters are treated differently by Java. That means if I write hello with capital H, starting with capital H, and then if I write hello starting with small h, Java is going to take these two things very differently. It is not going to assume that they are one and the same. Now, this is one of the most common mistakes which are made by the new programmers generally. They don't take care of the case. Case means whether they have written capital or small. So naturally they get 110 errors. So you have to be careful that if you are declaring a variable as small a, throughout the program it should be used as small a itself. You cannot use small capital A in place of small a. Okay. Next is, it should not be the words as true, false or null. These are Boolean and null literals. So what do I mean by literal? I told you once earlier also that literal means data. So Java has got a different data category known as Boolean, and it has got only two values, true and false. So this true and false, these true and false are written in small letters and they cannot be used as names. Similarly, null word NULL in small letters cannot be used as a name of something. Okay, so you just need to take care of these identifier naming rules. Now, apart from identifier naming rules, identifier naming conventions are also there. Okay, now what are identifier naming conventions? Though it is not given in a book, but it is always good for you to know what are they. Okay, identifier naming conventions are, now what are conventions? Conventions are something which you may not follow. But if you follow, it is better. Like walk towards your left on the road. This is a convention. It is not a rule. You may or may not follow. But if you follow, then it will be fine. So in the same way, there are identifier naming conventions, certain points which should be kept in the mind while naming something. Okay, the very first thing is that variable name should generally be declared in small letters. But if they contain constant data items, then they should be declared in capital block letters. Like int age. Age you can write in small letters because age can be anything. Okay, it can be 23, it can be 53, it can be 15, it can be 17, it can be any number. It is not constant. But int number of days in a year. That means you want to store the number of days in a year. Now that is fixed. You cannot change it. Okay, number of days in a week. You cannot change it. Full marks in a subject. It is 100. You cannot change it. So such data should be declared or kept in variables declared in capital block letters. This is a convention which you should keep in mind. Second thing is function names. Functions, what are functions? Functions are small parts of a program. What are they? That, as I told you earlier, we'll be discussing later. But to keep in your mind that how are you going to recognize function is something will be written in English with a round bracket open and close. So when you see something written in English with a round bracket open and close, understand it is a function, and function name should always start in small letter. But if they have more than one word, then all the other words after the first word will start in capital. Like for example, there is a function in Java known as char@, C-H-A-R-A-T. Now, char@ starts with a small c, and then in small letters only we write C-H-A-R. At, the next word will start with capital A. So it becomes char@ starting with small c, but in between one letter is capital, that is capital A of at. So function names start in small letters, but if it has got more than one word, then all the other words after the first word will start in capital. Class names should have all the words starting with capital letters. Like for example, there is a class known as buffered reader. Now buffered reader, though it seems as two words, but when you write in Java, it is written together, buffered reader, without any space in between. So buffered B will be starting in capital and reader R will be starting in capital. So class name always have all the words starting with capital letters. So these are the conventions which you need to keep in your mind. Next class we are going to discuss the various types of literals. So the chart is already there on the screen, and we are going to meet again in the next class.